All right, all right, all right. Greetings, peace and blessings. We are the Mohammeds, the residential tourists, 85 South to Africa. We are living in the after family. Thank you so very much. I'm telling you, we are really excited about this topic of discussion. I mean, we are excited. Aren't you excited?
My phone ain't working.
Her phone ain't working, so she's not focused, but no worries. No worries. We're gonna try to make this as concise as possible, but it's gonna be really, really challenging. Really challenging. There's a lot to unpack. It really, really is. But before we get dive on in, of course, we want to make our acknowledgements. And before I do that, just make sure somebody give us thumbs up. Make sure we are audible. Please, please make sure that we are audible. I think that we are.
I'm about to say, I can't tell you.
All right, I think that we are. So our acknowledgments, of course, we go out to our wonderful, beautiful, supportive subscribers. We thank you, truly thank you very, very much for your subscription and you ride it out with us for all this time. And of course, to our members, I think we got some new members. I intended to just list out the names of the members, but it slipped my mind. But we thank you. We're grateful. We truly appreciate you and your membership. And of course, to the regular viewers who may not be subscribers yet, not members, but they still tune in, and we are grateful. We thank you so very much. Just lending us some time on a beautiful Sunday. We appreciate that. And we like to say welcome to any new viewers, who are for your first time checking us out. Hopefully we do you right and you'll continue to view and subscribe. We hope so. We hope so. And with that being said,
Someone wants to know, do you feel safe right now?
I feel lovely. But before we go into that, I gotta, we will be remiss if we did not give you this reminder to please don't forget to like, to comment. Of course, you're gonna comment, and of course, please, we'd love for you to subscribe. Please subscribe. But if all else fails, please hit the like button. All right, please. We appreciate that. So I feel safe. We feel safe. So we do have an announcement. I won't call it an announcement, but just some update. But before we do that, I see there's some people obviously. So let's acknowledge those who.
We got Noel on, Liz is on,
Oh,
Malachi's on,
okay.
David B, Babby, Cindy Carr. We got some people
We
on.
got some familiar family.
We got people that ain't trying to tell us who they are.
We got some new.
Oh, we got Gen Z's on the lines
Hey,
here.
I'm loving it.
DK,
I'm
Charles in
loving it.
Africa. What's up? I can use to call you. Just a WhatsApp.
Another probably Telegram, but I got to read down on the Telegram.
Yeah. You can call direct.
Can't call me direct.
You can call the number direct.
Call her direct.
But
we'll figure it out.
It hurts when you do that. Sister Liz says, get me out of here. You got a few weeks.
We waiting on you, sis.
You got maybe 5 weeks, and Sister Liz will be headed to beautiful Kenya.
Thank you for all you guys who extended salutations. We appreciate you. Wa alaikum salam to those who extended universal greetings. Shalom of my Hebrew Israelite family, and peace, and hello, and Habari Gandhi, and all of that. What's up? Free the land, all of that. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
The brother's question, do you feel safe, kind of gives me energy.
Yeah, we're gonna get
it kind of makes me excited about what we're going to talk about today.
Me too.
Because the question should be, do you feel safe?
So let's just give a little update here, because in spite of it all, of all that's going on, we got to keep living. We got to keep moving, right? So we here in Nairobi, Kenya, the beautiful Adilah Muhammad with Adilah's Relocation Services.
Oh.
All right. So Adilah's Relocation Services is still active. She can tell you better than I can.
That's why I look so tired. I am so tired. I had to take the whole day just to just like crash.
She had to
We
buzz
had
out.
man, we had our another client come in yesterday.
Beautiful
Yesterday
family.
morning. Yesterday
Beautiful,
morning.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful family.
Yeah, we had dinner with them last night.
Lovely.
And of course that video is being
Raining. I got something to say about the rain too. I do.
we should rain out all these loud children outside.
I guess it
Oh
will.
my good God, go to bed. But yeah, so we've been working on that project. I'm finished with that one, but I'm not done. We have another client coming in from Nigeria in a few weeks. And that's the biggest project that I've had. But because I've been able to multitask, I'm pretty much done with his too. So, but extremely, extremely tired. I love what we're doing. I love this ministry. I love people that can see, they have a foresight and they're like, I need to get up out of here right now. I need to go to Kenya. Regardless of the protesting or what they think Africa is like, they understand that the assignment is greater than the
Right.
situation.
That's right.
So yeah, we still here. We're busier than ever actually right now. So
Which is a good thing.
yeah,
It's a good thing, and it's a great indication to let you know for those who are looking to come this way. Man, don't know one monkey stop no show, right? You can keep
one
pressing
monkey
on.
can stop a show though.
For her.
Monkeys be playing it. They'll play with one monkey.
I said now one monkey.
Oh, yeah, they can stop the show. Yeah. Yes. Oh, Natasha's on.
Oh, salute to
We ain't
Natasha.
seen Natasha in a minute.
Shalom. Listen, Sister Natasha, I gotta listen. This is everybody just close your ears for a second. It's not bad, but for you, Sister Natasha, I'm gonna reach out to you because I have to react and respond to the dream, okay, that you shared. All right.
Oh,
I got sick like
thank you, Liz.
shortly thereafter, but I got something I gotta share with you. So thank you, sister. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, Cindy Carr, she's coming in August. Hopefully for our big event. A lot of these people are coming in before our event on the 25th. So we're definitely going to have a fantastic meet and greet. We're hoping to get a lot of our Kenyans involved this time. We want to do a good networking. We're showcasing Black excellence
Absolutely.
all day on the 25th. We're going to have an all-white affair. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, we're
A
excited.
wholesome time.
Good old wholesome celebratory time. All right, well, look, let's just
One thing Timothy said, Assalamu alaikum, this platform
Walaikum
always
salam.
gives me hope about my African family future.
Oh man, that's beautiful. I
That
salute
is.
you, Brother Tim. Thank you so much. Same, same. We feed off the energy and we get excited, and we're truly grateful. I think this is a great time for Black people.
It is.
This is a great time for Black
It
people.
is. And in particular, can I share this in particularly East Africa? I don't mean to separate the continent, but the clients that are coming in, they're leaving West Africa, coming over to Kenya. And that's the part that I'm like, what? They leaving the great promise of Ghana. Too many people leaving Ghana. Too many people, or one or two clients leaving the Gambia. Two clients, people coming over from Nigeria. Like they're like,
Listen, all eyes are on Kenya.
mm-hmm.
And have been for, it seems like it has been for a little while now. But all
I hope it's not our doing.
No, I don't think we ain't nobody.
If it is, I feel confident about this one. But I hope it's not our doing.
I'm still speaking just on a broad scale, like I'm talking about nations. All eyes are on Kenya.
Wait, Natasha said the whole family, her whole squad coming in January. We gotta talk about who the squad is.
Okay.
But I hear we got some new members of the squad. So
hey, listen, y'all, do y'all see our shirts? Let's see our shirts. We're trying to represent residents.
We're trying to be business-like now.
So listen, all eyes are on Kenya, right? And they have been for, quite some time. Obviously, we're here. Many people have already been here long before we got here. You got so many different corporations, U.S. corporations. All eyes are on, but now they really, really, our eyes are on Kenya, and I think that it's a movement, right, that's taking place, and I think Kenya is like the pivot for this particular movement, right?
Mhm.
And how things are, it's like almost like a paradigm shift that's taking place. And we gotta, you know what, I'm gonna tell you something. We gotta really, 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 really take our hats off and take a moment to recognize and acknowledge the the warriorship
Mm.
of our Gen Z. Our Gen Z, man. Listen, you given, hold on, I'm gonna say the Gen Z, but specifically the Gen Z in Kenya, you guys have breathed new life into not just Kenya, but across the globe.
African countries all over.
You have what your actions and your have really breathed new life, and for us old fogies too.
Who's old folks? See, they call him Pops, but they call me Auntie.
I'm uncle
Uncle. I wanted to get a shirt that said Gen Z's Auntie on it. Because we proud aunties over here.
and uncles
And
and
uncles.
whatever. So let's give
Oh, geez.
a nice old round of applause. Yeah, nice old round of applause.
Well, while
Yeah.
you're doing that, thank you, Moonwell. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I mean, there's so much really to unpack that we're excited. We have a lot of information. I don't think that we're gonna try to keep it within an hour. Might go an hour and a half. I don't know. It just depends on how the spirit is moving to us and you all and everyone and so forth and so on. But we
We're going to hang as long as y'all hang.
Yeah,
Well, until I get
don't know about that one.
If I
don't
get
know about
hungry,
that
y'all
one.
know it's over.
So let's set the tone here. We got to set the tone, right, as we move into it, right? Because we wanna big up the Gen Z, right? The Generation Z. We really do, and we want to put things in the proper perspective because those of us we represent the Gen X, and then those behind. So we wanted it to be known from at least from us. We want it to be known that we recognize, and I know there's others and there's many others, and we get this. When I say we get this. I guess looking at the youth and the younger generations as today's leaders, right?
Mhm.
The Joshua generation, right?
Mm.
We'll talk about that. Well, we get this from one of the boldest, strongest black men, not only in America, but throughout the entire world, who is a man who is well in, I mean, he's 91 years old, but he's been on the battlefield, he's been soldiering, and he's been representing the liberation of black people for 6 decades, 7 decades, right? And he has always given props to the younger generation. He's always recognized that it is the younger generation that's going to pick up the torch and take us into, well, the promised land, if you will. Like I say, the Joshua generation, right? So let's start off with a video clip. Can we do
Okay.
that? Video clip to set the tone as we go into and we acknowledge our Gen Z and then go into the Gen Z here in Kenya and what they did to make things happen and so forth and so on. So here we go.
I feel the cry of our ancestors, the pain of those on whose shoulders we stand. I feel that the ancestors are happy that a young generation has arisen. I saw the faces of the young in line trying to come in, and they made it, I guess, safe, but they made it difficult. But the young stood in their place until they could get in, because that's who we work for. We who are getting older, and I'm speaking now of myself and my generation, what good are we if we don't prepare young people to carry the torch of liberation to the next step? What good are we if we think we can last forever and not prepare others to walk in our footsteps? So to the young that are here, we honor you. We know who you are, and we will not forsake our duty to you. There are some elders that are not worthy to pass on the legacy of their cowardice to our young people. Our young people will not listen to those made in America, made by America, and want to bow down in America to that which has given them hell. These young people are looking for fearless leadership, but leadership that cannot be bought. Leadership that is willing to sacrifice its life to see a better future for our children.
So you heard it, and that was 10/10/15. It was the 20th, I believe, the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March, and it was, of course, at a interesting time where unfortunately, a lot of us as Black people were being unalived at the hands of the law enforcement and the youth. They were really showing, they were budding, showing that, man, something's got to change. We got to do something. And so to me, I think that's like a seed. That was like a seed that kind of was planted, and then it reverberated throughout, beyond the U.S. borders, began to just kind of vibrate at a high accelerated rate to lead us up now and to this very point right now where we are.
So we have people that ask, do you feel safe? People that say, this is why I don't want to go to Africa and this and that and all these other situations. And the thing that I'm loving, and you will talk about it, is with this Gen Z here in Kenya in particular, but the fact that they were so fearless. You don't even understand them coming together without leadership, without a main organization. They was like, we're coming together as Gen Z. Let's just say that. That's the organization. They took the name and they love it, I love it. But they actually made the president of their country listen. Forget all the other congressional departments and all the other, no, they made him listen. And not only did they make him listen, they made changes happen off of their fearlessness, off of saying, we're not going to, we listen. And to think that we got the same enemy. This is coming from a Western situation, IMF, right?
Not necessarily Western, but
It's based in Washington?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
it's all over. Yeah, they affect all over the globe. it is definitely when you're dealing with this specific unique situation here in Kenya. Um, yes, it is IMF motivated for certain. As we spoke and mentioned last week about how going to the root of and the core of um, a lot of these things that happen in the governance of the people, and it's always the hidden hand. It's always the hand that we don't see. And theirs was the commonality where that's where it lies when it comes to we as darker people of the earth, because whether we're Black Americans in America, whether we're Africans in whatever country in Africa, or we're in the South, you know.
Let me be ghetto real quick. You just tell them to shut that door. Layel, Layel,
All right,
Layel.
all right.
Shut those doors, please.
We still got to we got to govern. We got to govern our household. So I want to, but I want us to go into the specific Gen Z of Kenya. But again, I want, because it's not, because it is abroad. It's abroad.
It's traveled.
It's
It
traveled.
was a spark that lit up so many countries, and that's what's exciting about this.
It's very exciting. But again,
Thank you, Brother Malachi.
oh yeah, brother, I gotta.
And thank you, Sister Liz.
Let's give some recognition to those individuals who shared and gave some love offering. We appreciate that very much,
Mhm.
and we really, really do. Brother Malachi, thank you so very much, beloved. We really appreciate you, my friend.
David B said, I really didn't think they had it in them. They make us proud.
Will, thank you
I'm
very
so
much.
proud.
We're very proud. We're very
So
proud.
proud. Because not just because they organized and did this thing, but they got fed up. And the thing is, they know stuff that grown folks don't even know when it comes to what is to politics in general. I was speaking with a Kenyan the other day, or the guy that
MK,
in Kenyan,
one person, right? MK.
our brother that does the immigration for the repacks here. And he was saying, do you know that not only did they take this finance bill and send it out amongst the country, they actually, I don't even know, they actually interpreted, because there's 44 tribes here, and I don't know how many different languages. They actually took the finance bill and rewrote it in different languages, so that all over the country it can be read. And this land, that land, this tribe, that tribe, everybody was able to understand what was being presented in this bill. And they were like, we don't want any confusion.
No confusion.
Like, what? The minds was so brilliant. I mean, you cannot be anything but proud of seeing the youth rise and fighting for their rights.
Absolutely.
And not just their
100%.
rights, fighting for their lives.
Yeah, that's how they look at it.
Yeah.
Rights, they don't separate it from their life and their living. Let's continue to set the tone, because we're going to go deep and directly into how the effects of the Gen Z here in Kenya really sparked a mental change and a spirit change, if you will, across the country, right? So again, we go back to our beloved, right? Because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I refer to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And this is me. You can disagree or not, might get canceled, I don't know. But there's no other voice in America, and I'm saying even not only in America, across the globe, that has and is actually speaking to the plight of darker people of all over the globe. Unbending, unyielding, fearless, right? Fearless. And he has a high, as I said, a high respect for the youth. And he understands that it is through the youth that the fight and the struggle for liberation and to achieve what we're trying to achieve is going to be at their hands. And with that said, here's another that I would like to share with you of words And this is something that it should be, is for we as the older ones, and how we should have a proper mindset when it comes to the youth that is among us. So let me see.
You get to these ages, you got to think about mortality. What am I going to leave behind for another generation? Some of us are so envious of you people that if we see that they have something to offer, instead of helping them up, we try to crush them. Those are sick elders that need to either change or die. Once you become envious of youth because they have what we once had, I'm not upset over young people. That's right. They know it. I'm happy to see a young vessel that may be a quarter full, that I can pour something into that vessel as I leave the planet, knowing that time marches, God marches with time. And if you march with God and with time, you'll always be relevant no matter how old you are. I have a lot of young people around me. Yes, sir. When I can look in organizations and see the bald and the gray and the toothless, and I don't see the young people in the organization, then the organization will die when we die. If you're not attractive to young people, check yourself. Young people know that old people get old. And if they don't know, all they got to do is keep breathing. And as the saying goes, you'll understand it better by and by. Young people will follow us if they know that we are for their success. And we are willing to share with them the knowledge of our life experience so that they won't make the mistakes that we have made, starting from scratch. Church is dying. All right. Don't tell me you the UNIA and you don't have young people. Mr. Garvey is alive if we are alive with him. He didn't come with an old philosophy. He came with a living teaching. So take next time you go to church or go to the mosque or go to your organizational meetings, look and see who you're talking to. Right. Yes, sir. some toothless person whose breath is not too nice to smell. I'm sorry. I'm trying to tell us that youth should be all around us. Youth should be all around us. That's the way the reparations movement will never die.
Okay. All right, family. So you heard it. I'm sure many of you may have heard it already before. But that is truly from our perspective, the mindset that we as older individuals must have as it relates to supporting, giving guidance to our youth and our young. However, seemingly, the Gen Z here, these youth here, they had it all, just like my wife said, they had it all together because they're not going to wait. They're not going to, this is what I'm learning from this experience is that they're not going to wait any longer for those of us who should be in the position to give guidance, to give knowledge, to give wisdom and understanding. They're not waiting anymore. They're taking it upon themselves to be able to do what needs to be done. It should be done in the right manner, in the right fashion. So I know that there were, reportings. You know how it goes, how they broadcast and how they make it appear and make it seem. And we know how these things work. But I'll share this here. This is not a video. It's not a video. This is just something here that was. So this was I don't know if it was an Instagram or a tweet or Twitter or something like that, but this was very, very interesting. And this individual stated, as you're seeing, did you notice? Did you notice? Huh?
Number one's not true. People have been arguing.
Okay, well, number one may not necessarily be the case. Nonetheless, this is what this individual stated. Did you know this? Indians joined the protests. I didn't see any in the footage, so it may be true that it's not true. The biggest protest without any leaders against bad politicians. It's a new, young, learned revolution that has been experienced nowhere else. Unlike before, these young guys are tribalists. This is what I like. They're tribalists, partyless, and fearless.
And it ends. It's a beautiful time to be alive.
It's a beautiful time to be alive in beautiful Kenya. Y'all give me a second. I'm trying to talk and trying to chew gum at the same time, trying to get this thing together. All right. So what you got?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, so much has happened. And just what they did right there was so instrumental on the change of where we are in this time. People connected spiritually. People are saying this has been prophesied. Say the word. Prophesied. People are saying that, of course, the youth is the future, but what type of youth and what type of future?
There you go.
The youth is always the future, but we see the leadership of the youth before them, or a couple youths before them. They were the future at that one time as well. But these youth right here, fearless, they're not cold. Let me tell you, Kenyans are so, their spirit is a gentle spirit. It's not a cold, callous. You don't see dark eyes. You don't feel that darkened energy. But to know, and we told y'all back when we were in the other country, we're learning and noticing that the Kenyans are fearless. And that is something to be excited about. because they're not just going to bend over and just take whatever you want whatever's going to happen to them. And because of what they did, I just want to read to you some of the changes that came about from the president, all the way from the presidential cabinet. The youth demanded to be heard. They demanded a lot more. We're not going to talk about what they demanded, and they're still demanding. You can see it in the comments. We have some of them saying it in the comments. But
While you reading,
but
this is go ahead while you're reading that.
oh, okay, this actually came from the presidential office from their president. We'll read number 7. 47 corporations with overlapping and duplicate functions will be dissolved. 47%, or 47 state corporations, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've gotten the whole letter is really thick and there's a lot of changes. We're just reading some of them, so I'm gonna get a couple of them mixed up. Bear with me. The decision to fill the position of chief administrative secretary is suspended. Like the added positions that they were trying to put in there and then have this bill finance it and be taxed to the tax dollars here, they were like, no, scrap it altogether. The number of advisors in government shall be reduced by 50% within the public service with immediate effect. Like 50% of the specialists that they use, the advisors that they use, people that don't have official positions but are getting paid official monies, 50% is cut. Budget lines providing for the operations of the offices of the First Lady.
Boy.
And it's funny because I've had the conversation with our Kenyan friend here, and they're just cracking up. They're like, yo, you might as well say, because you never hear about the expense, what the First Lady spends. And he was breaking it down of how many people was employed by her office, and she doesn't have a particular NGO or things that she does, but she has a major budget. The husband said, we're going to cut that. And the spouses of the deputy president and the prime cabinet secretary shall be removed. Not cut, removed. Gen Z, y'all wasn't playing. Like, I'm a little afraid. The budget provisions for confidential budgets of various executive office, including his own office, shall be removed. And the budget for renovations across the government reduced by 50%. And we've been hearing about these renovations that needed to go on is reduced. That whole budget reduced. It's not going to be on your dime. Public servants who attain their retirement, they're going to enforce public servants to attain their retirement by the age of 60 shall be required to immediately proceed on retirement. No extensions to their tenure. So those that just refuse to give up their office, their positions, they're 60-something years old, you're going to go ahead and retire and let the youth come in. You need new energy there, buddy. You can't hold on to that position much longer. The purchase of new motor vehicles by the government is suspended for the next year. Like,
You get a kick out of it.
it's crazy. Like, how did y'all do that? You would never, ever hear that. You can never hear this in the States. This would never happen. That's why I'm tickled. Like, you guys fought for what you want. You shut down the country. You shut it down. You jacked up the Mpesa. You stopped the Safaricom. Wi-Fi wasn't coming through. Kenya Airways shut down. Y'all closed down highways. Doggone stores wasn't going right. Global wasn't working half the time. Y'all shut the city down and got results. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. And now we're told, okay, this happens. Africa rises up, but I haven't seen any effects of the rising until here.
Because this is God word from Kenya, and he said that very same thing. But what he said was, even though protesting is not new, right, for Kenya, but he said this one is different. It's not like from before or times before. He was an older gentleman, not about, older than me, but anyway. but he's from Kenya and he's experienced these things. And he said it's not the same. It's something. And even my young brother here, Brother Timothy, shout out to Brother Timothy, who in the comment who just said it, that even he who, from understanding correctly, that was a monk, he felt that there was something different. It was a spiritual movement. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Timothy, but I think that's how I understood your
I mean, he
comment.
said even he can't explain
He
it.
can't explain because it's not to be explained. This is why
But there was a calling on your spirit.
calling.
Your heart was beating. You was like, I gotta fight for my people.
Right.
I have to do this for my people. And I'm like, oh, why couldn't I? I love it. Like we've been waiting a long time to have that. And the thing that, since there was no one that made the call, no one said, like, it's time. It had to be a spiritual movement. Like the God put it when all of y'all, because there was some Gen Z, well, I don't even want to call them Gen Zs. There was some in that age group that didn't go out, that we were talking to, and I was like, "You're not going out?"
No, but
But they were like, "No, I got a family to
no, no,
take
no,
care
no,
of."
no. But
Another one said, "I'm afraid of live bullets."
no, but here's the thing though. Put it in the right perspective. These individuals, this is what they said. They said, no, they're not going out, but they're gonna fight. But they're gonna fight. They're gonna choose how they fight to aid and assist by online.
One person said that.
No.
One person said, "We fighting online.
That wasn't just
We
one
fighting
person.
online too."
But it was the online effect that helped broadcast it.
Mhm.
So when you dealing,
You gotta know your lane. You gotta know your lane.
when you dealing in, I don't want to say that word, but just lack of a better word, when you're dealing with conflict, I'll put it like that. I don't want to say the 3-letter word to incite anything. You have to understand. You have boots on the ground. You have land soldiers. My brother Andre, I saw you. We out here. He probably knows better than I do.
No, but probably was out there talking about some, go get him.
So you have
out there
on the ground, but you have the aerial assault as well. So the online presence is the aerial assault, if you will. I don't mean to use those terms, but the aerial assault, because you got people in the battlefield, but you got to make sure you got to hit them from all different angles. So it's very significant, which is my point. The significance of individuals who may not have been there in the streets, but still were present online, whether it was the Twitter army, whether it was whether TikTok, I guess is a TikTok or whatever, had a significant impact on how they mobilized, how they moved. So you can't take light of those individuals because they were necessary as well. And leading into, with that being said, want to show you how this reverberated, if I'm saying that correctly, throughout, and how it impacted and it inspired and it motivated and is at least put into the thinking in the minds of the youth, the Gen Z, in other parts of Africa. So let's take a look at this here.
Welcome to Visible Eye Media, where we give you the latest news from the comfort of your home. On to our trending news, it's about how Kenyan youth has inspired other countries like Uganda, Tanzania to protest for bad governance in their country. Talking to Visible Eye Media, Ugandan youth and Tanzania are saying that they want to form a day to protest for bad governance in their country, saying that Kenyan youth has inspired Africa countries to stand and condemn bad governing in their country. Do you think that this is a revolution that has started in Africa? Talk to us through our comment section with Visible Eye Media, where we give you the latest news from the comfort of your home. My name is Paminas.
Zimbabwe are taking to the streets next week to also protest bad governance. I actually think they're protesting this finance bill. It looks like this finance bill was written in Washington and it was just dished out to different countries. But this, it smells like an African revolution. I can't believe this is happening. And this is one of the reasons why we can't go back. We can't stop.
In the country. The taxes are so high. And I don't understand why all these African countries, they're just watching Kenya. They're just watching Kenya like, oh my God, they're doing good over there. You should be doing the same. You should be doing the same. Taxes are too high in Africa. Too high, especially in Congo. And the people of Congo, listen, the people of Congo are too nice, way too humble to do anything. And I really, really hope that the youth of Congo will stand up like the youth of Kenya and do something about this. Africa, this is your signal. This is your signal. Do something. Do something.
Did y'all like that last brother? Did y'all feel that? When I saw that, I was like, I felt that, man. I'm like, oh, this. I felt that in my, especially that last part. Like, do something, do something. Like you can feel like this is different. You can feel it. It's electrifying. In All Eyes on Kenya. I got one more to show you as it relates to how the Gen Z here in Kenya sparked something in so many other people in other parts of the continent. So give me a second. All right, here we go.
Fueled by frustration with corrupt governance.
The protests reflect the fearless and unified spirit of a generation that transcends tribal divisions. This generation has grown weary of the long-standing influence of colonialism in Africa and has been closely observant of the injustices taking place. It's evident that they are determined to put an end to the remnants of colonial rule and bring about positive change for the continent. Before I delve further into the global spread of Gen Z protests, I came across a video from Kenya that I believe is pertinent to today's discussion.
The Gen Zs are not fighting against flesh and blood. Theirs is a fight against principalities and powers, rulers of darkness and wickedness in high places. Gen Zs don't want to kill anybody, even though we are killing them. We have snipers in this building to kill our young people. They are not fighting flesh and blood, Mr. Speaker. It is about wickedness in high places, parliament, state house, city hall, governor's premises across the nation. It is wickedness in high places that the Gen Zs are fighting against. It was not even the finance bill, Mr. Speaker, that was the problem. The finance bill was a catalyst. Mr. Speaker, the Gen Zs are fighting about the neo-colonialism that we are seeing today. When Kenyans are complaining about their government, the first person to respond to us is the American ambassador in PowerPoint presentations, telling us how our elections are free and fair, telling us how our president has been sent from God.
Over the past 3 weeks, the youth in Kenya have been making waves globally with their innovative approach to protest and their use of social media as a platform for self-expression. Their protests against proposed tax reforms have seen thousands of young Kenyans taking to the streets, signifying a notable shift in the sphere of youth activism and advocacy in Africa. A striking image depicting a vibrant crowd of young people, clad in trendy attire and fervently protesting on the streets of Nairobi, quickly circulated online within mere hours, serving as a powerful testament to the burgeoning influence of Generation Z on Africa's political landscape. The image seemed to convey a resolute message that there would be a departure from the norms of the past. Moreover, this protest marked the first instance of concerted action by the youth in Kenya, encompassing a visually appealing and social media-friendly look that embodies not only a new epoch, but also the zeal and drive of a fresh generation. After the recent protest in Kenya, the youth in several African countries, including Nigeria, have been inspired to stand up and fight for a better future for their countries. In Nigeria, the hashtag #TinubuMustGo has been trending alongside a photo with the caption, "End Bad Government in Nigeria 2024. This photo also outlines the reasons for the upcoming protest in Nigeria, scheduled to begin on August 1st. This echoes the same spirit and determination that sparked the protests in Kenya, and it's a significant moment for the African youth. Meanwhile, in Ghana, the youth had planned to stage a protest against what they perceive as poor governance. However, the protest did not materialize as anticipated due to low turnout among the youth.
Ghana, we should be disappointed in ourselves. We should be very disappointed in ourselves because it hurts so much when people have sacrificed whatever it takes to be there, to fight for the ordinary Ghanaian, come here and look at the number of people here. And no wonder the journalist is asking that your sympathizers. We are not sympathizers. We are fellow Ghanaians who believe in injustice not to be served on the people of Ghanaians. We are Ghanaians who have come to be conscious of ourselves in our democratic governance that is not going right with the ordinary Ghanaian. These things are being perpetrated on Ghanaians everywhere we go. But yet, who is fighting for the ordinary Ghanaian? And this young man here has dedicated himself to fix the country, have dedicated ourselves to fight for the ordinary Ghanaian. The least ordinary Ghanaian out there who is being victimized, who is being served with injustice, have to come out here and say that we stand with you in all that you are doing. But what do we see?
Based on my observations of the Kenyan Gen Z, it seems that there is a growing sentiment that Africa is on the path to freedom and that the continent will eventually regain its freedom. In any case,
Hold on, fam. I'm a little slow. All right, here we go. I felt that too, I'm sure. That brother from Ghana, I mean, listen, this comes from on high. I'm convicted in that this is not ordinary. It's really not. And let me just say, just a sidebar. Well, something I found very, very interesting, right? All the days, through all that time that the protesting was going on, every single day was sunny and bright. As soon as the protest stopped, it started raining. The next day, or the days after, or a day or two after. And we got rain just that one time. Did it rain? It's almost as if it was like, this is what it's there for approval, right? Could have rained any given day.
Mhm.
It's just me thinking that way, but I just found it very interesting that, like, it seemed like it was either a day or two after, it finally rained. It hadn't rained for a long time.
So
Anyway.
we get stuck on watching the weather. But this for us is beautiful. It's spiritual, it's motivating, but then it makes me sad at the same time because we're so asleep where we come from. Our youth are asleep. They're stuck on TikTok and Instagram and everything that they're fighting for over here. We're plagued with those same issues in the States, but we ain't fighting for it. We're so conditioned to believe that our voting power is going to change anything, and we're dealing with Satan and the devil. We're dealing with the beast on both sides. The same people that you guys are fighting against, that controls over here, controls over there. But we don't stand up. We wait until something happens. We wait until enough of us get killed, and then we march about it. And in our marching, nothing happens. Our marching might get the courts to say, all right, we're going to try this person for murder.
And they very seldom
do.
Convicted.
But
very seldom, right?
no laws get put in place to stop the killing. Off of this march, off of this protest that the Gen Z did here in Kenya, they actually put laws in place regarding how the police are to handle the protesters. Meanwhile, in the States, we have laws that are trying to surface where it's allowing them to bring in the military for domestic protests.
Even though the Constitution says freedom of assembly, right? But there's that awakening, right? And going back, I said it last week, I said it weeks before, Zbigniew Brzezinski who former United States Secretary, I believe he was. Anyway, in short,
Bob will tell you.
yeah, in short, he said that 100 years ago it was easy to just control the minds of the people. But now it's easier to kill millions as opposed to trying to control the minds of millions. It's easier to just kill millions of people. So the people that have become awakened and are continuously awakening, meaning they are discovering that these powers, quote unquote, that be, are the fault factor, the reasoning why the quality of living in life is not as it could or should be. And they're not waiting any longer for those who are supposed to represent us, who are supposed to represent the people that are being bought and sold. And so they're not waiting. It's like, what are we waiting for? We've been waiting. And every time we wait, there's nothing that comes about and nothing happens. So so it's like the circumstances have been created in a way that these young, brilliant individuals have been vessels made to carry out the will of God, to be able to bring in freedom, justice, and equality on the earth, on the entire earth, because they're detached from us. They got a totally different spirit than we have. It's a whole spirit that we can't claim it. They're a different type of people. They are fearless. And we're seeing that. We're really, really seeing that. We've seen here in Kenya, these young persons, that they said that if death is what it is, the death is what it is.
Yeah, we've seen them say, we're not afraid to die, we're already dead. I'm like, what?
How you gonna chump somebody that ain't afraid to die?
You can do. They got everything to live for. And they're like, my people. They see the country as my people, my Kenya, my Kenyans, my people. This is the language that you hear, my people. And so they're like, if you have to fight and die for something, you die for your people. And they're willing to do it. Meanwhile, we're learning more and more and more about the election that's about to happen in the States. And we talk about it. Keep in mind, whatever happens over there affects the globe. It doesn't just affect the United States.
So it ties in.
It ties in, because what you're fighting for over here, you'd be so surprised. You're not surprised, because you've seen who was just 2 weeks prior to this protest, what was being done? Where was the president here? Over there hanging out with the president over there. Meanwhile, the Kenyans are like, oh no, we already know what you're doing. We know what's about to happen. And we were hearing this. We were hearing it. And I'm like, yeah, we know. But I never imagined the chain of events to happen from that. Now we can get Black people in the States. And Black people in the States are fearless. They're more dangerous because they have something that most of these countries over here don't have. They walking around with guns, ammunition, all kinds of stuff. You never hear a Black person that shot up the cops, went after the judge that let the cops go, or you never hear this. You never hear the Bloods and Crips. You never hear any gangbangers that went and attacked them for killing us. You never hear this, but they're fearless. Don't get me wrong. But something stops us from dealing with Master the way that Master deals with us. And so the new stuff that's going on, we were looking and we're seeing people afraid, and they're crying, and they're like, what is this new 2025 Project 2025?
Project 2025.
But it's not new.
It's not new. It's
not new.
It's not new. Project 2025 the basis of it. Let me just do a quick overlay so you can kind of look at some stuff here. But it's not new. It's not new. It's something that has been pretty much in effect for quite some time, right? And listen, you know, I heard Brother Rizza Islam. Shout out to Brother Rizza. He said, "Listen, while we sleep, man, the devil is working. He's busy. He is busy working, trying to maintain his quote unquote control, right? Because he's not going to give it up willingly. He's going to fight to the death. He's not going to give it up. So he's working and working. And so when we get lulled to sleep, he's still busy trying to scheme and plan and strategize on how he can stay in control. And so this is something that is not new, you know, and we've been hearing about it. Let me just I don't know if I don't necessarily have to, but our beloved sister Taraji P. Henson. Some of y'all, we don't have the fortunate privilege to watch BET. I probably will watch
BET this morning.
Or she watched BET this. I probably watched BET anyway. But the BET Awards, this project,
She caused the hysteria.
she put it out there. She used the platform. Man, I love that sister. I've loved this sister. I just love her energy, her fight, and her spirit. I just love this sister. She used the platform to say, listen, I got a small window of time, but in this small window of time, she's look, I look good, but listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. Pay attention to what's going on. And she said, Project 2025, do the research. Now, Project 2025, this thing here has been since 1973 through the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank. This is like the 9th project. It became kind of popularized during the Reagan era, right? And it's a policy, right? It's for conservatism, however you say it. And from their perspective, is to keep the country in a way that they think it should be. And so doing, a lot of liberties and freedoms and things that we're accustomed to will be just totally thrown out the window. But anyway, my beloved sister, let me just show this video real quick. Y'all probably already have seen it, but let's show it anyway. It's real
Today,
short.
We're exploring a topic that's been lighting up the internet, Project 2025. This conversation really took off after a powerful statement made by actress and mental health advocate Taraji P. Henson at the BET Awards. Taraji's statement set the internet on fire. Here's what she said.
I'm telling y'all, you better show up and show out with them ballots. I'm being serious now. I know I look good, but it's a serious time. I need y'all to listen. Show up and show out when it's time to vote, because it's not just about the presidential election, you guys. It's time for us to play chess, not checkers. It's about making decisions that will affect us as human beings, our careers, our next generations to come. Did you know that it is now a crime to be homeless? Pay attention. It's not a secret. Look it up. They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up. They are trying to bring the draft back. Who do you think they're going to draft first? I'm not trying to scare us. I'm trying to inform us. We got 3 Supreme Court seats up, you guys. We need those seats, or we have no protection. Okay, I got it out my system.
Man, I love that sister, man. She fearless. Again, now here's my take real quick. Here's my take on specifically her and this particular point, this juncture, this point in time, right? So prior to this point, probably already all know, this is how, to me, this is how God works. She was in a position where she was like, hold on, wait a minute. And she is, I'm a talented actress. I have a portfolio of work that I've done that's highly acclaimed. But why is my pay scale? Why is my pay scale not the equivalent to my white counterpart who's maybe have equal portfolio, not any more, maybe a little less? But why is my pay scale not, why is it not showing, reflecting that? Why is that? So she put a voice to that. And she stood up to some powerful people, as you may already know, namely Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, right? It was a rough period. But this is, to me, this is how God works. Utilizing that particular occurrence and situation for us to focus and put our eyes on our beloved sister, right? And what she was going through and how she was standing up. To the point now, fast forward, here she is, she's standing, she's a host or she's a MC for the BET Awards. And all eyes still remain on her. And this is a platform now she can voice and vocalize something that we need to pay attention to. And because we were riding with her, now we take it to heart, we take it seriously. Whereas before, if we would have heard Project 2025 from some Joe Blow or whatever, we probably wouldn't have paid attention to it, which has been the case. So she, again, utilized to be able to bring us to an attention of something that we need to pay attention to. So Project 2025.
Yeah, so no president has admitted or endorsed Project 2025. So we're not saying that. But we're seeing signs that certain things are happening little by little that shows they're executing Project 2025.
Well, Rick, just to interject, Reagan, so
I meant out of the two presidents that are running.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Biden's not going to, because it's not for the Democratic Party. It's strictly conservatism and it's strictly for the Republican Party, right? And in fact, it is designed to counter anything that may have come about by way of the Democratic Party and their policies and so forth and so on. So they'll say that they don't, but the internet don't lie.
So let's even talk about just a few things. And this is already, when Trump was president before, he's already had some of these things in action, like banning Muslims from entering the country. And he also had a ban against going to any Muslim country, right, for a while. Complete ban on abortions without exceptions. Of course, anyone in that LGBTQ family,
you can call it quits.
Trump coming even harder than he did the first time. Marriages out the window. Any healthcare rights, any type of that dealt with LGBT, all of that just out of the window. Only what Christianity taught in the public school systems, regardless of your religion. Christianity only, and Christianity as interpreted by the devil, taught in the schools only. In marriage equality, that's LGBTQ. Condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families, which means he's going after welfare. Again, changing the retirement age. So you can be a slave normally 62, early retirement 65. He want to push it because he's out here working in his old age. He wants you to keep being a slave to the dollar till you're probably, who knows what age they're going to come up with, because every year it seems like 2-3 years.
95.
You be 95 years old working, still doing the Walmart greeting post because you can't get your Social Security. Oh my God.
So let's look at it.
Use the military to break up domestic protests.
Right.
That's the part right there.
So, and I'll show some overlays here so you kind of look at. We'll go through it real quickly, but you know, the premise, if you will, is to kind of like streamline the government. You know, meaning making it very almost authoritarian, if you will, almost authoritarian, where you can't really step too much out of line on things. Certain liberties that we, by way of the Constitution, that we ordinarily would be able to have, they're being put, policies are being made in place that will actually threaten those particular liberties. So what is it? Why? What is Project 20? So it's a collection of conservative and right-wing policy proposals from the Heritage Foundation. That's very important. To reshape the United States federal government and consolidate executive power should the Republican Party candidate win in this particular election, 2024. Here's the thing. It proposes reclassifying tens of thousands of merit-based federal civil service workers as political appointees in order to replace them with those who will be more willing to enact the wishes of the next Republican president. All right? And then it goes on and on. But then let's go here real quick. So it's like, where does it come from? It comes from the Heritage Foundation. But the Heritage Foundation created the policy called the Mandate for Leadership. So the mandate, this is like the 9th mandate for leadership, right? And it's constructed according to time. And in this mandate, which you can download, which I've already downloaded it, and I'll put the thing up so you can download. So you should read it and you can see what they're proposing and what will potentially come down the pipe, right? And it looks as such. Hold on. Wait, what did I do? It was up. Okay. Oh. Okay. Mandate for Leadership, a series of books published by the Heritage Foundation, right? And the conservative think tank, right? That's easy enough. But it goes on and on, right? But so not to go too far into, because time is already far spent, but definitely, please, definitely download this Mandate for Leadership, the conservatism promise is what it's called, the conservative promise, right? But what is let's look at it. What is the vision and the aim of it? So let me see if I can spread this out. It's kind of small. I tried to get it big enough so it could be seen. Widespread changes across the government, particularly economic and social policies, and the role of the federal government and its agencies. The plan proposes taking partisan control of the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Department of Commerce, the Federal Communication Commission, and the Federal Trade Commission, dismantling the Department of Homeland Security, and sharply reducing environmental and climate change regulations to favor fossil fuel production. Now, here's the kicker. The blueprint seeks to institute tax cuts, though its writers disagree on the wisdom of whatever. But here's the kicker. Project 2025 recommends abolishing the Department of Education, whose programs will be either transferred to other agencies or terminated. Crazy, right? I'm just gonna run right through these real quick. Just run right through them. Let me see. Hold on. All right. Well, it's a lot. I don't want to lose anybody. I don't want it to be. But see, that's the part though. That's the part. The part about it is that we have to avail ourselves to be educated enough to know that our lives are being governed in a way that we have no say. And we're looking at our circumstances and the conditions just like our sister said, it's like, who do you think, who's going to get hit the worst? Who's going to get hit the most in all of these things here? We don't have a level of privilege. Even those that do, they really don't. Okay. And it's so much, as I said, it's so much to unpack. So we can't really go, maybe we will do a continuation and revisit it next week. But these things are very, very important, man. I really wish we could unpack a lot of this stuff here, but these are the things that.
And so looking at the differences in the two, over here on the continent, you can literally fight for your rights and make change happen. And you know, a lot of times they ask, why did you leave the US? Why are you leaving there? And we're trying to get over there and blah, blah, blah. And we're showing you these are things that impacts our freedom. And we can't do anything about it.
You can, but what are you willing to sacrifice? As we're seeing here, where these individuals are willing to give their lives for their freedom or their justice or whatever it is.
And we're led to believe if we vote, then we can gain our rights and our freedoms. But if that was such a thing and we voted and we've been Democratic, we've been Republic, how is it that these things still exist?
We've been voting. We've been voting.
Nothing. We even had a Black president.
If that don't do it for you,
what else can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? So now, you know, if the other person becomes president, immigration is going to look a lot different. As you already know, the one president then opened the doors and we got a flood in the US of immigrants that came over, a lot from China. Well, the other president, he hates immigration. He hates immigrants. He hates the poor countries. So what do you think he's about to do? It's like, and then you're dealing with how can it be against the law to be homeless?
Wait,
I mean, you made
crazy.
the cost of living crazy in every city. You took away the jobs, you know, raised the taxes, you know, made the workforce almost don't even exist. And now you did gentrification, you went to these low income areas, you promised them you can live in these apartments. This is in Atlanta, they don't do it everywhere. You can live in these apartments for 6 months, but then you got to pay such and such amount of rent. Well, if they were living on Section 8 before, how do you think they can handle such and such amount of rent?
And then you're going to send them way out North Atlanta, past Sandy Springs, Roswell, where the barter stops at Sandy Springs. You're not going no further than that. You ain't going to be able to get to work. What are you going to do?
And now you want to make it illegal so that you can get modern day slavery from the poor. You want to put them in jail and make them work for you for free because they couldn't afford to have a roof over their head.
Because this is the playbook. This is the play-by-play. It's like, okay, I'm an investor. I'm going to invest in the private prison industrial system. I'm gonna put my dollars there. But just like anything else, whatever I invest in, I'm looking for a return. So how am I going to get a return if I invest in the prison industrial system if there's no people there? So now we have to construct a way to put people. So they did it with the music. They did it with hip hop. 1990, the AR. We talked about it last week. How the AR met with these investors, and they signed on the dotted line and said, we got to make this type of music because this type of music is the frequency of it and the words to it is going to encourage criminal behavior. That way we can now put them in the prison. So now they got this bill or whatever that's going to criminalize homelessness for what, right? But it's now, like you said, it's gonna be okay. You get the free labor, and now the investors.
That's what they came up with. How can we get slavery back? The homeless population in Atlanta, in LA, is just those two alone is the amount of people in some of these smaller countries. Can you imagine?
It's crazy.
And the fact that we worked with the homeless population for years before we came to the continent. That's our passion. That's intensive research. Um, ugh. And to know, I've met doctors out there. I've met dentists on the streets. I've met people who had families that own their own businesses, and because of anything, I remember a person had a car accident and got addicted to the painkillers and lost their dentist practice. But now, because of his situation, he should be a criminal and you should get free labor from him. These aren't just single people. We've met husband and wives out there in the streets,
Right.
full families, and this is so heartbreaking to me. I can't even breathe. I can't even understand what kind of mind thinks like this. Only the devil can come up with such disgusting. I can't even understand how it's even considered amongst so-called civilized people.
Well, can't fathom the depths, as we're talking. Can't fathom the depths of the evil that exists. And, it's something to be reckoned with. It's so much. We're gonna have to make a decision. But real quick, I need to point this out as it relates to the Heritage Foundation, which is the conservative think tank. The president thereof. Let's get a look at him. Okay, that's him, Kevin Roberts. He's the president, right? He's the president of the Heritage Foundation. And the Heritage Foundation is the foundation that is responsible for this Project 2025. It's been in existence since 1973, but he's the current president, right? And there's another gentleman who's the director of the Project 2025. His name is Paul Dans, right? Okay. And there's a reason why I'm showing you this, because a quick quote here, this is just kind of give you an idea of the mindset and the motivating factor as it relates to those who are, mind you, that this Project 2025 and this mandate for leadership is a construct of about 100 conservative organizations. So this thing runs pretty deep, and they've been around since '73. They got billions of dollars in revenue, so they got a strong lobby. So with a strong lobby, especially for a particular party, for somebody like Trump to say, I don't know nothing about it, hogwash. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Because in 2017, when he was president, come to find out, 64% of what the policy had rendered, he incorporated more than Reagan. Reagan did 49% of it. And the interesting thing in parallel between Trump, Ronald Reagan, and even Nixon is a man named Roger Stone, who was the campaign director, if you will, of all three. And guess what? Guess what ties them all three together? It's a slogan, and a slogan they were all familiar with, which is Make America Great Again. Roger Stone ran the campaign for all three. And during the time of the Reagan era, in the policy, he said, let's come up with something called the disinformation policy, which really is a very fancy way of saying, let's lie. Let's lie.
Is that when they started slandering each other on the
Yeah,
campaign?
I mean, just whatever, right? So the war on drugs was really not a war on drugs, was really a war on Black youth. That was a euphemism, if you will, but I digress. Kevin Roberts, about Kevin Roberts, and we're going to focus because we've been about Kevin Roberts, right? No, that's not it. I got the wrong one. I'm sorry. That's not the one this is what I want. This is the one that I want. All right. Heritage Foundation President Kevin Roberts said in July, this month, that, quote, we are in the process of the second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be, end quote. Now he's the president of the Heritage Foundation, who is in part responsible for the Project 2025. Paul Dans, who is the project's director, said in April of last year that Project 2025 is, quote, systematically preparing to march into office and bring a new army of aligned, trained, and essentially weaponized conservatives ready to do battle against the deep state. So this is the mindset that's formulating these policies that they are moving to put into place via the presidential election, if in fact the Republican Party candidate gets into office. And this is just really scratching the surface. So we wanted to share this with you because it ties in, right? We're here, fortunate to be here in Kenya and witness and observe how the people stand up for what it is
Together.
Right, together, whether it costs them their lives or not. They stand up to be able to, because it's all about having a quality of life and living.
And they rose up for their people,
right?
Their rights.
So we're for those of us who are back in the States, are you gonna lay down? We're not inciting anything. I don't want to make it sound like we're inciting anything, but
how are you? The voting ain't that voting. Yes, people vote. Blah blah blah. Nothing gonna change from your vote. I'm sorry.
Not on a federal level. You better vote on a state local level. That you got a better chance voting on a state local level.
You have a chance, but now with the okay, let's just get off it. But what Trump was saying, or what the was it Trump or this 2025, where they're going to try to take away the rights of some of the states and make it a presidential decision.
That's what this is what this policy is saying.
Yeah,
this policy, this 2025 says this
because in the United States, each state, like when COVID came, they put it in the hands of the state to decide on what level of, if it's a code 4, if it was mandated, everyone have to wear mask, or if you only wore mask in certain places and blah blah blah. It was in the hands of the state. And then even with that, the government can make that decision, but we had our own mayor, and the mayor made a decision, and our governor said, no, we're going to veto it, because our mayor is a Black woman at that time.
It was thick.
It was thick. And he was like, no, I don't want Georgia to be mandated to wear a mask, even though she watched the news and followed the science. And she said, so they can make those decisions, but they're saying, we're going to take away all the state rights, not all, but take away some of the state rights and make it a presidential decision on each state.
If it seems like if it doesn't align
with what they want,
with conservatism, then they were like, nah, we're not riding with that. But things are creeping upon us. The Chevron deference, all that stuff. Y'all look that stuff up, man. Look it up. But we gotta. It's something that you have to really consider. You moving, okay, that's one thing, right? But just like you said earlier, it's like if these leaders in Africa are in bed with Western powers and European powers, then what affects them or what's ruled there, it's gonna trickle down. It's gonna trickle down. And so even though we here, but like somebody asked, are y'all safe? Are we safe?
Yeah.
We don't know. We might.
Don't worry about y'all. But we safe over here.
Yeah, for now.
We got the biggest military, the best military in the world. Gen Z, what?
Man, listen.
That's a military right there.
We're protected by the Gen Z.
They took the wrong military to Haiti.
They should have took the Gen Z.
Y'all need the fearless ones. Y'all took the wrong ones.
Anyway, family, listen, I did want to close out on something that I think you know, and it's another video.
He said Cornel West for president.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Because anyway, that's my whole. I mean, he's a brilliant brother, but
he's tired too.
You know, listen, I'm gonna tell you straight up.
Some new blood.
I'm not sugarcoating nothing. There's no other voice that could be heard and listened to that's gonna be for and help Black people in America and pretty throughout the world is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm saying it. I believe it. I'll stand on it, and I'm not gonna move off of that. I don't care. For Black people, man, please.
But when you're dealing with a country of national, you need someone for the people.
For the people.
In general. And we keep having these same conversations every 4 years. And it ain't nothing gonna change. That ain't gonna change. A revolution will change it, but that ain't gonna change it. Voting has never changed or has not benefited us in my lifetime, period.
No.
In the lifetime before, when we had the civil rights era, and I guess it benefited some. So we can be considered human and walk into buildings like they can. I'm not trying to belittle it. I'm saying that era helped, but after that, so
I know they're going. I don't know. Somebody gonna love me for it, but I don't know. I wanted this last video, and tune in. You can listen. Whoever want to listen to it, but it's pertinent, and I think it's inspirational. It's helpful.
Thank you, Brother Eric.
Brother Eric, thank you. Is that Eric Stone?
No, this is our this is the new Eric that's coming.
Okay, Brother Eric. We'll see you when you get here, God willing. And I'm gonna play this here, man. Don't be mad at me, but be mad at me. I don't. It's another one from the minister.
No, come on now.
It's
6:30.
It needs.
And a sister said, "Can y'all please like?" Down to 66 people. Can y'all please like, share, subscribe? If nothing else, at least like, please.
Hold on, look at
Pat Bob been giving all the facts. Charles in Africa says safer there than in the U.S. Hebrew Shemite said, people, hallelujah, God is in charge. Sister Camila, yeah, she noticed a lot of homeless already being swept out of certain areas in Tucson.
that's
I hope it's not.
Yeah, Sister Erica, that's false, sister. But he is a Mason in a sense, if you understand, because he's a builder, building a nation of people. You know, controlled by who? Controlled by what? There's nothing. Who you know they can stand and do a tour around the world, around the country, call for 1 million Black men on the Mall of Washington, and then after that go do a world friendship tour around the entire world on behalf of Black people and tie Black people to America, understanding that policies that were being made was for our demise. But he made friends for us all throughout the entire globe and the entire world. What control is it? When Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, in the OAU, who made him the actual deputy of the OAU. And it's so much that can go into all of that. But when there was a ban on Libya, a ban not to go to Libya, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I'm a free Black man. You can't tell me where I can go. I can't go. And he went. So that don't sound like a control factor to me. It's not control. The freest Black man, I guess I would say. And this is a little to the side, but I had to address that because I can't let that go. I can't let that go at all. But you know, I forgot to acknowledge our agents that are out there. I forgot about that. You know, agents will throw the stone for sure, definitely. So
Timothy said he's a Gen Z here. They come with guns, we come with flowers. Water for the tear gas. Our phones and lots of love and patriotism for our country and for Africa. That's all they had. And they made a change. They had everything stacked against them. They was like, we got nothing to lose. And they made a change off of just uniting as a people.
Hmm.
And it wasn't just for Kenya, it was for the whole Black people around the world in general. If we can do what the Kenyans did here, we can change everything overnight simply by uniting for the same cause.
Very true. Very true. So we're going to close it out. And I am going to we'll pick up next week, God willing, and we'll be able to hopefully share some things, from our experience. 'Cause this is part of our experience, and we're growing and developing from it. We're loving it. Our eyes are becoming, clearer and more open to see certain things.
It's a unique experience when you're not in your home country and you are a repat to another country, especially another Black country, and seeing how things unfold. How does it relate to you? A lot of the laws that they were fighting for relates to repats as well. A lot of the taxes will affect us. Immigration laws affects us. So it's not like, it doesn't affect us. It's not our fight. We're not considered, a citizen here, but we are definitely watching and cheering on the sidelines, and admiring the strength and the fearlessness in the Gen Z.
Indeed. So I saw that when I was unfortunate because I was trying to, and I didn't see a lot of the comments, but from what I'm seeing, there's some incredible, amazing comments from you guys. Thank you so very much. We really appreciate those comments. The comments are always very enlightening, very, inspiring. There are a few that slip through that, but it is what it is, but we're grateful. We thank you so very much for tuning in and extended your time with us. But as we mentioned, there's so much to unpack. This is a very, very interesting time that we're living in, and many of us, we are really, with us, we're really trying to make a way for ourselves. And, as they say in masonry, is there no help for the widow's son? Just a no jab. So anyway,
those that are interested in consulting, you still trying to come to Kenya, we still got you. The relocation services is still here. It's ready for you at dealersrelocationservices@gmail.com. We are still in the planning phase for the event on August 25th, but we should be running, hopefully we'll have everything solidified this week and the tickets will be ready for you guys by next week. Gotten a lot of emails from a lot of you guys coming, a lot of our Kenyans coming. I'm excited about that. We have people flying in August for just for the event, and hopefully some tours that we plan on doing for you guys. So look forward to getting that information out to you this week.
Yep. We're gonna do it. You'll see what we got in store, and you'll be present, hopefully, God willing. And hopefully we have some Gen Z out there too. Y'all come. We need y'all.
Yeah, we need to celebrate you guys.
Yeah, y'all come. And we salute, we breathe life into many. And as long as we maintain our character, we seek proper guidance, we act in the way of right, stand on what is right, stand on what is true, stand on what is gonna,
elevate the people.
Exactly. Then God is by your side, and he's in front of you, and he's gonna lead the way. So I guess with that said, thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your day if you're over in the States. And for those of us here, the evening has been upon us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And then next week, God willing, we'll see you and we'll have something to share. All right. Peace and blessings.